Hey, warrior. Tonight, the walls are thin, the masks are off, and the games are over. You sense it, don't you? The forced smiles, the circles of, "Are you okay?" that are really just, "Will you serve my comfort?" You wake up already bracing for someone else's storm, tracking the plot twists of a drama you never auditioned for. You want peace, but your boundaries keep bending like plastic, until you wonder if you ever had any real dignity at all. The Stoics warned us, nothing manipulates you more than what you refuse to outgrow. Freedom isn't the absence of pain, it's the refusal to be played. If you know, you know. If you're ready to stop running from silence, hit like and subscribe, but only if you're done with shows and hungry for substance. Slow your breath. Tonight, we talk about tests, real Stoic tests, that turn chaos to clarity, expose masks, and leave you standing unchanged in the middle of anyone's game. Imagine this. You say no once, and suddenly the air gets thick. Their smile flickers. Their questions come sharp as daggers. Why not? Are you angry? Don't you trust me? Let the silence stretch. Do they respect the boundary, or do they rush to fill it with guilt? Manipulators squirm in stillness, exposed by their inability to accept your quiet autonomy. This isn't passivity, it's control without noise. There's an ancient, awkward art to letting silence do your heavy lifting. Think of silence as the Swiss Army knife of the emotionally unbothered, never flashy, always effective. You don't have to engineer long philosophical speeches about your boundaries. A simple, "no thank you," followed by the quiet confidence of a monk who's just won an argument with a brick wall, is often more powerful than 1,000 TED Talks. The people who cannot handle your silence have revealed themselves as doubters of your basic right to exist without explanation. Fun at parties? Perhaps not. Liberating. Always. Let's put it like this. Silence is the thunderstorm that clears the air. You'll find, as you master this law, that people will show you exactly who they are the second you stop doing their emotional homework for them. The ones who respect your space? Solid gold. The ones who panic, twist, cajole, or whip out a guilt ballad. Consider them exposed, not in a court of law, but in the gentle forensic classroom of your own serenity. Now it's tempting to fill the silence, isn't it? Maybe I should explain, just a little. Maybe if they know my reasoning, they won't be upset. But this is how your boundaries become group projects. The next thing you know, you're giving a PowerPoint presentation for your own choices, complete with pie charts of why you don't want to go to brunch. Don't do it. Stoics say, no explanations needed where the will is firm. And let's face it, has Socrates ever retracted an opinion just because someone pouted? Never trust a philosopher who can't handle 10 seconds of dead air. Let silence filter the sincere from the opportunistic. Consider the manipulator's mind as a microwave. Silence makes them overheat. You are not responsible for their discomfort, only for your clarity. Accept the awkwardness. Awkwardness is simply the sound of other people noticing you're not volunteering for an emotional performance. Picture yourself as an immovable mountain in their tiny, turbulent stream. As they splash around looking for a foothold, you remain stoic granite. The more you don't react, the less power they have. Eventually, they exhaust themselves and drift off to find an easier target. Perhaps your neighbor, who still brings out his entire emotional toolbox for every RSVP. Every time you resist the urge to explain, you're giving yourself permission to not perform, to just be. And honestly, that's a rare plot twist in a world addicted to over-explaining, oversharing, and apologizing for existing. No is a complete faced with a calm no, and nothing but the faces people make when faced with a calm no, and nothing but the gentle hum of your refrigerator filling the vacuum. The desperate gestures the raised eyebrows, the incredulous, "That's it? Yes, that's it." Watch as they attempt the ancient art of extracting information via interpretive dance, jazz hands, brow furrowing, the works. Enjoy it. You may even develop a taste for the drama of the unspoken. So, conduct the silence test. Watch who respects your quiet, who fidgets restlessly, who takes their ball and goes home. This, above all, is a subtle superpower, mastering comfort in your own silence and exposing those who cannot bear it. The law is simple, stoic, unyielding. When you stop explaining, the real explanations arrive, without you having to say a word. You hold up the mirror. You name what happened, exactly as it happened, not softer, not spikier. Does the other person accept their part, or do they squirm, evade, twist your honesty into another round of their drama? Manipulation withers in the light, but only if you're brave enough to stand still when the blame boomerangs back. Picture this. You're wielding the accountability mirror like a championship wrestling belt. This isn't some dainty hand mirror from a Renaissance painting, with cherubs flittering around whispering sweet nothings. No, this is a gigantic, slightly scuffed, fluorescent-lit interrogation device. You ask, what actually happened? And the universe shudders. There's nowhere to hide. The truth pops up, wearing sweatpants and last night's regrets, asking if coffee's on. You point out the spilled milk. The other person stares at the puddle like it might evaporate if they blink enough. Their eyes dart, their excuses arrive right on cue, each one more acrobatic than a Cirque du Soleil headliner. It's not my fault. The cat did it. Maybe you put the milk too close to the edge. Gravity is a conspiracy. You stay silent, letting silence do its slow, awkward dance. Because sometimes it's not about winning the argument. It's about who can sit with reality longer. Do they accept? Or does their inner drama queen take the stage, slapping on a wig, demanding the audience's sympathy? Will they own it? Or will they turn the whole event into a tragic opera entitled, "It Was Never My Fault," a 3-act sob story? Some people are allergic to truth. It makes their skin itch and their voices rise a full octave. But don't flinch. This is your greatest move, remaining as unmoved as an old tree in a hurricane. Sit calm. Watch as their mental gymnastics hit the wall. Some will try to return fire, tossing emotional grenades your way. Maybe they shout. Maybe they withdraw. Maybe they weaponize tears like a toddler who's discovered Netflix buffering. In the accountability mirror's glow, all this is just smoke, just special effects. The trick is learning not to respond in kind. You don't have to match their panic with panic, or their spin with whiplash of your own. Your job is to hold the mirror, not to enter their funhouse. You might wonder if you're being too harsh, too logical, as though accountability is the villain and denial the misunderstood hero. In reality, truth is the most compassionate offering you can give, to yourself, to them. Truth is the catfish in the online dating pool. Sure, it's uncomfortable, sometimes ugly, but at least now you know what's real. Sometimes, the most caring thing you can do is to say, "This is what I see. I'm not budging from what's real, but I'm here with you as long as you want to look, too." Of course, we all hit the moment where the truth stings. Even Stoics occasionally wince. Marcus Aurelius probably grimaced dramatically in his toga now and then. The key is learning not to run. When you're tempted to soften the truth for comfort, remember, the mirror can never fix anyone who won't see themselves. If you let them dodge it, you're signing up to repeat this dance forever, waltzing around the same old blame puddle like ballroom dancers with 2 left feet. This isn't about catching people out for sport. It's about building relationships where reality can breathe, where people can grow out of their mistakes instead of squeezing them into ever flimsier alibis. If someone flinches when the truth hits, that's information. If they stand there, face the mess, mop in hand, congratulations. You've met someone ready for the Stoic Olympics. If not, well, at least you're getting your cardio in, dodging all those blame missiles. In the end, the accountability mirror is less about exposing others and more about practicing truth as a form of radical care. Hold it up, chin level, steady hands. See what happens next, not just to them, but to you. That's how you tell who's ready to move forward and who's still obsessed with looking for the nearest dimly lit escape hatch. You know that urge, the hot flash in the chest when they poke your insecurity, tug your loyalty, demand your reaction. Tonight you just breathe out. Don't rise. Don't defend. Watch who panics when you stay calm. Manipulators need you noisy, needy, hooked on the line. Your unbothered stillness is the storm for them, not for you. It's movie night at the Stoic cinema of your mind. The popcorn's metaphorical. The drama is real. You're reclining in the front row, munching on detachment, while provocations play across the screen like badly CG'd villains in a late-night soap. Spoiler, the worst thing you can do to a manipulator is change the channel. Picture them throwing popcorn at the screen, desperate for your reaction, and yet you just keep reclining, unruffled, like you're watching an educational program about watching grass grow. When you refuse the bait, your silence isn't passive. It's a fortress. Your lack of reaction is the emotional Wi-Fi outage they dread. Picture their bee-like frenzy, buzzing for the honey of your irritation. And you've switched off your pollen. No signal found. Searching for new connection. Please wait. And wait. And wait. That's the beauty of detachment. You don't destroy the drama. You just stop auditioning for the part. This is the detachment drill. It's less about resisting the urge to answer back and more about practicing emotional aikido, letting the energy of provocation fly past, cartoon style, as you sidestep with zen-like slowness. Your critic winds up, swings, and whoosh, you're an innocent cloud drifting by. No counterpunch required. The harder they try, the lighter you feel. Do manipulators despise calm? Absolutely. But your amusement is your armor. Picture standing in a rainstorm of opinions, accusations, and subtle jabs, holding a magical umbrella of indifference. It's not that you don't care. It's that you refuse to soak yourself for someone else's weather system. Let the rain hit the umbrella. Let it bead and roll off. Oh, you think I'm a terrible insert label here. Noted. Anyway, would you like some herbal tea? See what happens. It terrifies people who thrive on emotional downpours. The detachment drill is not the art of not feeling. Stoics aren't robots, and neither are you. But it's about noticing where you place your energy. Are you fueling the world's bonfires with your own anxiety? Or are you the soft, steady glow of a night lamp, unaffected and still shining? You can observe your feelings as if they're stray cats outside your window. They appear, meow for attention, but you can simply wave as they stroll past. No need to let them in. No need to feed every meow. Your inner narrator, unbiased and curious, can practice saying, "Ah, interesting. I notice my chest is tightening. My jaw wants to get involved." That's what it feels like to be baited. You can even rate the manipulation attempt. Presentation, 7 out of 10. Effort, solid. But I think I'll pass for tonight. Playfully disengaged. Detached does not mean numb. It means choosing where you place your presence. Like a cat who decides which lap to bless and which to ignore entirely. Tonight, detachment is your weighted blanket. You're not withdrawing out of fear. you're retreating out of wisdom. The less you react, the more control you have. Your power isn't in taking action, but in choosing inaction when it's bait, not boundary. Let your calm be the plot twist nobody saw coming. Watch what they do without your performance. Spoiler, the show's a lot less interesting without you. And so, rest your mind, breathe, and remember, in the game of emotional chess, sometimes the wisest move is not another move, but simply pulling up a chair and saying, "I'll let you play yourself." Notice this. You do what's were asked, and suddenly it isn't enough. The rules change mid-game. Well, actually what I meant was, Stoics keep score not to win, only to see the pattern. When the standards keep shifting, the only constant is their hunger for your confusion. Stay steady. Let their inconsistency reveal itself naturally. Imagine you're at work and your boss gives you a task. You fulfill every requirement, dot every I, cross every T, and maybe even add a charming smiley face at the end of your email for good measure. You hand it in, thinking, just for a second, the day is yours. But no, suddenly there's a spreadsheet no one mentioned, a secret metric, an interpretive dance of expectations you simply must perform. By Thursday, or last Thursday. Good luck. This isn't just annoying, it's exhausting. It's like being in a game of whack-a-mole where the moles hold secret briefings about how to pop up in new places every time you swing the mallet. The Stoics weren't just experts in philosophy, they were secret masters of not losing their cool while watching people invent new hoops to jump through. Marcus Aurelius probably watched someone move the finish line mid-race and took a serene, philosophical sip of herbal tea. You too can practice what Marcus called apatheia. Not apathy, but the ability to keep your serenity in the face of chaos, or at least in the face of Janet from finance's ever-changing email requests. This is the essence of the consistency challenge. The world will hand you moving goalposts and expect you to never notice. You could spend your energy chasing them or pause, count how many times the posts have moved, and enjoy the pattern unfolding like a nature documentary. Observe. Ooh, here comes the next goalpost. Watch as it inches left at the crucial moment. Majestic. When you face shifting standards, remember this. Your value doesn't hinge on someone else's arbitrary scoreboard. Epictetus would advise, focus on what's up to you, which in most situations does not include policy updates from that one manager who insists on putting everything in Comic Sans. Your role is not to anticipate every twist in someone else's illogical manual, but to master your response. You can keep your word, your work ethic, and your sense of humor, even as the criteria for success morph into surrealist art. The comedy of the moving goalpost is that it's rarely about your performance. It's about the other person's need to feel in control, or at least to keep you guessing so you don't notice they're also winging it. This phenomena is ancient, predating even the invention of PowerPoint, and the wise know it for what it is. A sign to focus on your own consistency, not theirs. So, when the goal starts sprinting away from you, smile. Maintain your own standards, even if everyone else's are printed in disappearing ink. A Stoic doesn't enter the shifting sands to prove a point. They stand on solid ground, wave a gentle goodbye to the receding goalposts, and ask, was I good today by my own standards? Did I try for virtue, not merely approval? Accept that the rules may change, but your steadiness is beyond their reach. Let the world invent its labyrinths. They're just shiny distractions. The only finish line that truly matters is how you treat yourself and others. And the good news? That finish line never moves. You share your struggle. Watch. Do they lean in, or immediately pivot to their pain. Manipulators echo your story only to redirect it. They make empathy a stage for their own spotlight. Real listening is silent and patient. Manipulation can't bear sharing the floor for long. Let's wander into the subtle world of the empathy filter, where sympathy parties can quickly become hostage negotiations. Imagine you're narrating the most harrowing tale of your week. Maybe you tripped over existential dread in the pasta aisle, or lost a fierce wrestling match to your inbox. Your friend, eyes wide, nods thoughtfully. All is calm. But wait, suddenly the story swerves. A dramatic plot twist, and now you've teleported into their biography. You're no longer the main character. You're an extra in their emotional telenovela. This is the manipulator's favorite trick, the empathy sleight of hand. They shine a flashlight on your wound and promptly jab themselves with it, sighing theatrically. Oh, you had a tough day? Well, let me tell you how my week was even worse. My neighbor's dog barked at me, and now I have emotional PTSD. The trauma. If the conversation keeps bending back toward their emotional plumbing, beware. You're not being heard. You're being upstaged. Stoicism, in all its eyebrow-raising wisdom, teaches us the quiet superpower of discernment. The Stoics didn't invent emotional detachment just to avoid bad dinner guests. They saw it as a tool for clarity. Imagine Marcus Aurelius sitting across the table, chin in hand. He's not waiting to talk. He's actually listening. There's a deep, patient stillness, a willingness not to rush in with his own gladiator woes. Marcus does not steal the scene with, "Oh, you think your empire is in crisis." Test the empathy filter by a simple ancient method. Silence. Speak your truth. Stop talking. If your confidant fills the void with urgent tales of self, you've unmasked a performer, not a companion. Take note. Truly empathetic people sit with your discomfort, even if it's awkward or dull or doesn't lead to dramatic monologues. They don't leap into interpretative dance about their childhood dental trauma. They know you didn't share just to audition for the role of supporting listener in a minor breakdown. Consider the psychological mechanics at play. Manipulators often view empathy as a currency. Every ounce of your vulnerability is an opening to collect attention tokens. It's not about what you feel, it's about what they can get from your feeling. It's a subtle stagecraft, performed with furrowed brows and dangerously sympathetic hmms. Beware, too many hmms, and you're in a late-night infomercial for their unresolved issues. The Stoic countermove? Calm observation. Think of yourself as an undercover philosopher at a noisy masquerade ball. You don't reveal all your cards. You don't let every sigh become a cue for their song and dance. You see who asks questions, who tolerates silence, who allows your story to breathe, and who, all too predictably, snatches the conversational remote. Check your own instincts too. Are you tempted to solve, to fix, to make it about you, even with the best of intentions? We've all met our inner spotlight seeker. Stoicism suggests, leave the ego at the door, hang up your cape, and just listen. Let silence be the proof of your care, and patience the signature of your concern. Empathy, stripped of performance, is simple. It is staying, not saving. Mirroring, not mimicking. Absorbing, not appropriating. The world is full of stages. Choose the quiet corners, the patient pauses, the candid "I'm here," undiluted by a story that starts with, "But the next time you share, watch for the pivot. Let your discernment be painfully regal." If they can't listen without turning the scene, the Stoics would kindly suggest, "Next act, please, try this. offer help without asking. Will they take endlessly, or do they ever reciprocate? The Stoic soul gives with open hands and open terms, but always notices who never bothers to return the favour. Examine the balance. Unearned loyalty is just a leash. In the wild, even the squirrels have figured out the reciprocity game. You leave some peanuts on the porch, and eventually you'll find your garden unnibbled. But give a squirrel an endless supply, and soon you're running a squirrel welfare state. Marcus Aurelius probably dealt with the Roman equivalent. Imagine a toga-clad philosopher plotting how to say no to his 27th cousin. Gaius, the perpetual moocher. The Stoic perspective doesn't call for tight-fisted giving or suspicious accounting. Instead, it's about watching the flow of energy, like some kind of cosmic debit and credit report, minus the anxiety and IRS audits. In relationships, work, and family, someone is always offering time, affection, advice, a lukewarm Uber Eats recommendation. The Stoic approach is to give freely, but observe. Are you a well that's generously replenished? Or are you simply the only source while everyone else is walking around with empty buckets and look of entitled thirst? Picture yourself as a bartender with an unlimited tab, but every once in a while, you glance at who's actually ever bought you a drink. This isn't about keeping score, but about keeping your self-respect. Stoicism is about clarity, not martyrdom. You can be both generous and discerning. Seneca spoke of benefits with the wisdom of someone who'd clearly lost a few good lawnmowers to neighbours. He said the best gifts come with no strings, but that doesn't mean you keep giving to the person who uses your generosity as a doormat. There's a beauty in giving without expectation, but there's a freedom in recognising freeloaders. Picture a friendship where you always foot the bill. It starts as kindness, but soon you realise you're an unwilling sponsor for someone's habit of gourmet sandwiches and boutique oat milk lattes. Marcus would advise, see the pattern. Be kind, but wise. Giving without ledgers doesn't mean living without boundaries. The Stoic reciprocity test is simple. Remove the scoreboard, but keep your eyes open. When you help, notice how others respond, not to trap or guilt trip, but to learn. Who brings value, even if it's just a smile, a kind word, or their own unique form of weirdness at 2 a.m. when you need to vent? Who's always mysteriously out of Wi-Fi range when you need help moving your couch? Over time, your giving becomes intentional, a garden hose, not a fire hydrant blasting indiscriminately. You choose where to water and whom to nourish. And for those who never reciprocate, Stoicism quietly suggests, perhaps it's time to stop watering that patch. Carry on loving people, yes, but recognize when your love is leaking in one direction, never to return. In the end, the Stoic law of reciprocity isn't a call to stinginess, but to sanity. Continue helping, continue loving, but also continue noticing. Unearned loyalty is just a leash. Stoicism offers you the scissors. Manipulators demand urgency. Now. They call it love, call it crisis, but always bend your hours toward their benefit. Say, let me think. Watch them unravel when your calendar stops dancing to their panic. Time, for the Stoic, is sovereignty, and you only loan it to those who honour it. Urgency, the ancient sorcery that turns your to-do list. Forbid, mutter, let me sleep on it. The forbid, mutter, let me sleep on it. The magician's grin fades. Manipulators, it turns out, wilt in the presence of patience. Your pause is their garlic, your maybe later, their full moon. They pretend it's all about decisive action. In reality, impatience is their fishing line. They only catch those who bite fast. Stoics are by all accounts the spiritual equivalent of turtles, steady, deliberate, not falling for every frantic splash in the pond. Seneca himself would sit with his choice, like a man eyeing a fine cheese. I'll sample it tomorrow. The cunning find deadlines where there are none. This offer expires at midnight, as if the universe is handing you its cosmic keys, but only if you act before the infomercial ends. See the trick? They make their urgency your problem, hoping you'll trade your peace for their agenda. But what happens if you simply don't? If you stretch an awkward silence between their sentence and your answer? Manipulators fidget. The pressure mounts, not for you, but for them. The true spotlight shines not on their fabricated emergency, but on their motives. Are they genuinely in a hurry, or do they thrive only when you're out of breath? Time, like gold, grows more precious the less of it you recklessly spend. Each pause, each moment taken to breathe, signals that your hours aren't for sale at the nearest emotional pawn shop. The Stoics would sip their metaphorical tea, unhurried. A manipulated soul gulps. A Stoic savours the temperature, the flavour, the potential for second thoughts. There is power in patience. You can almost hear the clicking of their anxious nails against their imaginary desk as you ponder. Even life's grand events, the job offer, the romantic overture, the very limited time only coupon on socks, become less urgent and more manageable, and, when viewed with the right distance, 9 times out of 10, the rush isn't real. The only true emergencies involve actual flames, or perhaps a runaway goat. Everything else is a test of your boundaries. Next time someone waves the red flag of urgency and demands you act without delay, channel your inner Stoic philosopher. Picture Marcus Aurelius, bathing in the serenity of a slow dawn, unbothered by inbox chimes or quick favours. To delay is not to disrespect, but to respect time itself. You are the Archduke of your calendar, not a servant to another's stopwatch. Delay and watch as truth emerges. Those who thrive on your panic will reveal themselves by their inability to wait. Those who truly care will match your pace. Time, wielded wisely, exposes both the genuine and the opportunist. Respond not at their tempo, but at your own. In your measured stillness, you'll discover whose intentions are gold and whose are glitter glued to cardboard. Sleep on it, not just literally, but stoically. Let morning be the judge of all after midnight emergencies. And remember, your time, well defended, is the clearest sign of your sovereignty. Pay attention to who tells the story when you aren't in the room. Do they inflate your praise for favours? Whisper your mistakes in company? Manipulators weaponize reputation. Stoics outlast slander by never gripping approval too tightly. Detachment here isn't apathy, it's quiet power. Consider this. In a great amphitheatre called high school, there's always one person assigning roles. You might think it's the principal or your overzealous class president, but no, it's Terry from the marching band. Terry knows who hit the wrong note and who accidentally released the frog in second period. Terry, let's face it, is auditioning for puppet master of your reputation, armed with a tuba and an astonishing lack of subtlety. Now, the ancient Stoics, in between inventing virtue and sipping on what we can and only assume was room temperature wine, figured this out early. Epictetus would say, it's not things themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about things, and that includes other people's opinions about us. If you need constant applause, you'll end up dancing to everyone else's tune, and we both know not all of them are in sync or have rhythm. Imagine attending your own office's reputation management seminar, hosted by Steve from accounting. Steve will say, just be yourself. But not too much. Or the HR lady gets nervous. and the intern starts compiling memes. Eventually, you realize that managing reputation is like trying to keep a cat in a bathtub. Slippery, loud, and invariably you get scratched. No one genuinely cultivates the perfect reputation. People cultivate stories, and not all of them are accurate or even remotely flattering. From the Stoic perch, the trick is to withdraw permission. Stop letting everyone else play puppeteer with the strings of your character. Praise and blame are gusts of wind. You can't build a house with them. Marcus Aurelius, likely sitting awkwardly on a marble bench, once mused, "Receive without pride, let go without attachment." Next time someone sings your praises in one room and points out your missing socks in the next, ask yourself, is their chorus really my orchestra, or just background noise to my main act? Humans are wired to spot social danger. That's why your brain lights up like a Christmas tree when Janet whispers to Bob about that typo in your quarterly report. Good news, evolution is slow, and Janet still can't bite you. The Stoic fix is not to crush your feelings, but to let their commentary wash past you, like water over a duck. Stoics are very pro-duck, by the way, graceful above water. Underneath, furious paddling, much like most workplaces. When you detach from both applause and booing, you discover most of life's drama is staged for an audience that isn't even paying attention. Reputation is always for sale, but the price is your peace. Seneca said, "Other people's minds are their own concern. Focus on yours." In a world obsessed with likes, follows, and reviews from people who forget your name by Tuesday, the only enduring reputation is the one you have with yourself. Let Terry have the last word at the water cooler. Let Steve's slideshow make you a pie chart of areas for growth. None of it leads to tranquility unless you unplug from their applause meter. Cultivate the art of invisible internal applause. A round of silent, deeply satisfied, well done for getting through your day with humour, grace, and the wisdom not to wrestle with mudslingers. The real reputation game is not who needs you praised or punished, but whether you need either to sleep well tonight. Stoic detachment, the ultimate plot twist, curtain call, applause optional, pause and count. Who sees what you truly do? Not just what you give, but the way. Let this gauge recalibrate what you, 102 we can sonne. Quay cries. Sgraintanti tanchen at Wassens. Let this gauge recalibrate what you allow. Let's take a sleepy stroll into that oft-ignored inventory of gratitude. Imagine your day as a bizarre board game. On one tile, you untangle a friend's existential dilemma for the 5th time this week. On another tile, you pick up spilled coffee, not yours, from the communal office carpet. Of course, everyone else is too busy updating their fantasy football teams to notice. Classic. Did you just roll doubles? Yes. Congratulations. You get to lend money you won't see again. But who's keeping score? Oh, right. Nobody. Except you. And, if the Stoics were right, possibly a small wise owl who lives in your chest and occasionally coughs up hairballs of resentment. In this game, manipulators, those perpetual freeloaders of emotional labour, become gluttons at your self-service buffet. Can you just help with this one more thing? Sure. And right after, they'll disappear faster than a Wi-Fi signal in a concrete basement. Subtle, isn't it? They call it teamwork. You call it doing everyone's taxes but your own. If you ever question it, they'll weaponize guilt like a pro chef wields kitchen knives. Fast, expertly, and never in their own direction. But then there are the warriors. Not soldiers, not Spartans, but those rare creatures who quietly see the sleepless nights behind your patience. The invisible stitches in every problem you mend. They say thank you. They show it in the relief behind their eyes. The fact they ask about your well-being before launching into their monologue about their neighbour's cousin's dog. These are the humans who, metaphorically, put the trolley back in the corral without you asking. Here's where your gratitude gauge lies. Not in the thank you notes or the digital thumbs up emojis, bless their little yellow, pixel hearts, but in the quiet ledger your soul keeps. On one side, those who, if you disappeared, would notice the gaps, the coffee stains, the small order where once there was effortless calm. On the other, those who might only realize you're gone when their world becomes inexplicably clumsier, their problems less solved, their espresso less mysterious replenished. The display is comedic, sometimes tragic. Watch. You perform the logistical equivalent of juggling flaming paperwork, and someone looks you dead in the eye and asks, "Did we ever get more toner?" Oh, if only you could charge a nickel for every moment of invisible labour. Retire, you might, on a luxury yacht called "At Least I'm Appreciated," or at least afford nightly delivery, so you no longer dine on existential dread and microwaved rice. Now, the Stoic twist. Your value isn't in the recognition, but don't mistake that as license for self-sacrifice until you're a puddle with a day planner. Marcus Aurelius didn't mean accept your fate as become everyone's doormat. There's power in recalibrating your gauge. Gratitude received isn't payment, but it is a useful diagnostic if you're surrounded by people who only notice your value when you're malfunctioning. Like when their coffee isn't refilled or their email isn't magically unsent. It's time to audit your efforts. Detach with a smirk. Practice saying, "I'm unable to do that today," while internally monologuing. For you, the coffee shall remain unelixired. Not out of malice, but in honour of balance. Boundaries are the sleep mask for your soul. They block out the blinding glare of unreciprocated obligation. So, tuck in tonight and let your gratitude gauge re-center. Rejoice quietly in the recognition you did receive, even if just from that mental chest owl. Better yet, take inventory of the warriors in your midst. Tomorrow, give your energy in their direction. The manipulators can fetch their own coffee. Serenity, after all, tastes even better when brewed only for those who notice the difference. Finally, take this to heart. Who is unsettled by your serenity? Some people need you busy, breathless, apologetic, because as long as you chase their fires, you forget your own quiet dignity. Your calm is a test. Anyone who resents it is only exposing the games they play. Maybe you've noticed. When you stop lending your anxiety, someone always panics. It turns out your chaos was their oxygen. Your doing too much kept their world spinning. Now that you're centered and sipping peace like herbal tea, there they are, suddenly agitated, almost allergic to your composure. If your calm is a provocation, take it as the highest compliment. You are not the storm, you're the mountain. Not a circus act distracted by every clang, but a lighthouse, unmoved, illuminating games as games, loud, desperate, and pointless. We've all met these calm saboteurs. Their strategies are ancient. Guilt trips in the group chat. Are you mad at me? Texts, surprise drama pop quizzes. They measure your love by how quickly you'll drop your quiet for their chaos. They don't realize Stoics have read this script before. Epictetus called it, "Seek not for events to happen as you wish, but wish them to happen as they do, and your life will flow serenely." That means letting anxious people flail about, auditioning for your attention, while you, miserably uncooperative, stay still. But it gets better. Your calm is not just a provocation. It's a filter. The ones who truly care for you recognize your peace as something to protect, not disrupt. When you stop over-apologizing, over-explaining, and over-scheduling your self-worth for others, you finally meet people who like you for you. Silent, comfortable, possibly in ridiculous fluffy socks. Eventually, your serenity draws out those who thrive in stillness, people who choose you without needing you perpetually nervous. Let's not pretend. Your calm will bother the power collectors. If your peaceful presence sends someone into crisis mode, you've just witnessed a live demonstration of emotional power dynamics. Some people only feel tall if you're on your knees. Breathless, proving, hustling. As you remain unfazed, they'll call you cold, distant, or aloof. Call it what you want. The Stoics would call it freedom. And, in the spirit of Marcus Aurelius, who must have been the undisputed king of not answering passive-aggressive scrolls, remind yourself, someone else's storm is not your summons. Tonight, remember this. Every time you stand serenely in your truth, you're drawing a bright line. The manipulative cannot cross. Let them wrestle with their own discomfort. Your peace is not for sale, bartered for cheap approval. You don't have to join every dance, respond to every drama, or play any games not of your making. In the end, the greatest provocation is to remain calm as the world fidgets and fusses and tries to recruit you for the next unwinnable skirmish. You're here refusing the invitation. One sigh, one silence, one eye roll, internally, because you're classy, at a time. This is your revolution. Don't apologize for it. Sleep tonight knowing your peace is proof. Nobody suffers in your calm, but those who crave the chaos you've finally outgrown. Pause. Let the truths echo. You've just seen, clearly, simply, how every game, every manipulation, withers in your honest stillness. This hasn't just been a list. It's a map back to your unbreakable self-respect. You don't have to flinch, explain, or defend. You are the test, the line in the sand, the storm's calm eye. You are not for their entertainment, their need, their unsettled hearts. You exist to raise your own standard. Tonight, you've remembered what the Stoics whispered through the centuries. Freedom isn't found out there. It blooms within. Whenever you refuse the old games and finally stand sovereign, thank you for being one of the rare few who walk instead of follow. Your presence here is proof. You're not playing anymore. You're building a life too real for scripts. Walk quietly. Walk free. Pause. Let the truths echo. You've just seen, clearly, simply, how every game, every manipulation, withers in your honest stillness. This hasn't just been a list. It's a map back to your unbreakable self-respect. You don't have to flinch, explain, or defend. You are the test, the line in the sand, the storm's calm eye. You are not for their entertainment, their need, their unsettled hearts. You exist to raise your own standard. Tonight, you've remembered what the Stoics whispered through the centuries. Freedom isn't found out there. It blooms within, whenever you refuse the old games and finally stand sovereign. Thank you for being one of the rare few who walk instead of follow. Your presence here is proof. You're not playing anymore. You're building a life too real for scripts. Walk quietly. Walk free.